Okay, so a lot of people have been asking about how we're going to pull apart the Vestax to get inside it to either fit a halo or to pull all the internals out so that it can be resprayed a different colour. I'm just going to do this video quickly to just show you how to get inside it, remove the base and do some of the basic stuff. There'll probably be a second video showing you how to rip all the internals out ready for spraying, but let's go with the basics. First of all, you want to remove all of the easy bits and pieces from the outside of the turntable. Let's start with the obvious bits like your head shell, your needle, your cartridge. That will come out. You can remove your target light, remove your slip mats, vinyls, etc. The next thing you want to do is make sure that your totem arm is as secure as possible, because you don't want to damage that when you're turning the turntable over to pull the base off. With my one I've got the spring-loaded counterbalance and take that all the way off to 0. I'm going to remove the weight off the back of the arm, and I'm also going to make sure that my arm is dropped right down to the base, just so that it's nicely pushed down. Once we've done that, the very first stage of pulling it apart is going to be taking off the platter. So a simple Phillips screwdriver, 2 screws. Now if you haven't taken your platter off before ever, or for a while, it can be hard to remove. The trick to taking it off is to push your thumb down here, so that you're not trying to lift the whole turntable off the ground, and then use 2 fingers to prise upwards just the platter. So we're using thumbs to push down on here, and off it comes. Platter removed. Obviously this is where your halo would sit, if that's what you're going to do with it, and this is your motor. Now when you're going to turn the turntable over to remove the base, obviously you're not going to want to put any force on this arm here. You're going to try and protect this arm as much as possible. You can either put some cushions down, or get yourself a box, cut a hole in the top so that this can sit inside. And flip the turntable over. Again, always making sure that the tone arm under there, nothing is touching it. There's no pressure or force on the tone arm whatsoever. Obviously that's really important. Now that we've got it upside down, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 screws to remove. Once you do that, the base will come off. I'm obviously not going to sit here and make you watch me undo 14 screws, so I'll come back in a second.
That's still yours.
Okay, so I've removed all 14 screws from the base of the turntable. Now it's literally just a case of the bottom plate comes off, no wires connected to it, nice and simple, easy peasy, done. We're now inside the turntable. A few questions that people ask me are about removing the tone arm, either for swapping it for different versions fitted to different Vestax, or for just removing it so that you can spray the outer casing of the turntable. One thing I'd say is that all you've really got to do is, there's a circuit board here, let me grab the camera. There's a circuit board here, and that is all that the tone arm really is connected to. Once you remove this, there's a couple of little cables here, and then a few screws on the outside here. This circuit board will come out. It's worth bearing in mind that the tone arm, literally all it is some wires that go through and connect to your line outs, your phono outs and your ground. That's all that's connected to it, and these 2 little wires here. Once you remove this circuit board, it's free flowing, and you undo the tone arm from the underside. When we turn it back over, once you remove this from the other side, this circuit board here will just go through that hole there, and that's it. The tone arm is removed all in one piece. A few other points to note. The main difficulty with pulling one of these apart is just that there's so many components. You need to make sure you know where every little piece has gone, especially when relating to stuff like screws like this one here, they're grounded, you see. So you need to make sure that you know where all of your screws have gone. Easiest way to do it is with sandwich bags. Just as you remove bits and pieces, label them up, chuck the screws for the relevant pieces in there, or do what I did, which is just take a video like this and label everything up. The motor is also very difficult to remove and is quite delicate. I hear about people, once they've pulled it apart and put it back together again, the motor not working. There's something inside there that can sometimes come out of place, but from what I've seen and heard of it, you can repair it again. It just needs a little bit of super glue to put it back in. I haven't had this problem when I've done any of mine. The problem is that once you undo these 4 screws here, the motor still seems like it's wedged in, and it just takes a little bit of persuasion, or a fair amount of persuasion, to remove the whole motor in one piece from this side. Once that's out, it's literally just a case of removing the screws, disconnecting the wires, and all of this will come out. Once this is out, the only bit that also can cause a bit of an issue is your target light here. This is where your halo, LED halo would connect to. This is a power source here. It's for the target light that we removed earlier. I can't see it from under there, but it's there. That's a 12 volt power supply. It hasn't got many ampage, so you can't really get away with using the RGBs too well. You can do single colour LED halos powered off of this. In order to remove this, to spray it again, you'll need to desolder these wires, because otherwise you can't remove the connection from the other side, because the wires are connected here. Although having said that, I'm now looking at it wondering whether you could do. No, I think you need to desolder it anyway. I'm pretty sure I desoldered mine. That would be it then. Once you've removed the motor, this, all the circuit boards and the tone arm, you can just clean up the outside edge of it and get spraying. It's literally as simple, as straightforward as that. I think that's about it. For now, I'll do a second video when I start pulling all these circuit boards out and drilling holes in it to do the halo. Basically, the cable for the halo will come through here. You'll just drill a hole through here. The cable will go into it and then connect over to here, as I said. All of this goes back together the same as I've just pulled it apart. Like I say, I'll probably do a second video if you need me to. Ciao.